Korea in just a moment. But first, though, we are getting new details on the terror attack in London. We have our senior international correspondent, Nema Al-Bagher, who is live on the scene. But Nema, stand by just a moment, because the president did come out to address something completely different this morning, John. And in just a few seconds, you're going to hear what the president said, a short response, but responding after that tweet this morning on London. Let's listen to the president.
Mr. President, any reaction from London, the terror attack?
No, it's a terrible thing. It's going and going. And we have to be very smart. We have to be very, very tough. Which perhaps we're not nearly tough enough, but that is just an absolutely terrible thing. In fact, I'm going to call the Prime Minister right now. Yes, I have. On numerous things happening, including North Korea. So I've been briefed, and I'm going to get right now for briefing, and I'm going to see Frank inside.
You heard the president say we have to be tougher, we have to be smarter. He is calling British Prime Minister Theresa May right now. Those pictures of the boy mowing the lawn, that has to do with a young kid from Virginia, a kid named Frank, who wanted to mow the White House lawn. You can see it happen right there. But the president making news, talking about very serious issues, namely this bombing in London. He did ruffle some feathers with some statements earlier this morning. So let's go to the ground. Nema Al-Bagher for us in London. Nema, exactly explain what happened in the state of the investigation.
The investigation is still ongoing. The British Prime Minister has said that they're going to keep the threat level at critical, that's the second highest, but not take it to severe, which would have meant that they believe that an attack was imminent. They believe an attack currently is still, though, highly likely. The investigation is centered around this manhunt and their concerns after the discovery of a timer on the device. It was a very crude looking device, but the timer really is what's ringing alarm bells, that this was intended to cause much more havoc. That's the working assumption of the British security sources that we've been speaking to, John, that this could have been much worse. And those who survived this attack tell us that it was really practically miraculous that this device went off just as the train was arriving at the station in Parsons Green and the doors were opening, so people were able to flee. So much of those 23 injured are actually just from flash burns, as opposed to what would have been the horror of a pile-up within a sealed-off train carriage. Police here, though, not particularly pleased with President Trump's tweets this morning and his speculation, as they're calling it, that this was undertaken by someone who was known to the police force. We asked the London Mayor Sadiq Khan what he thought of the president's tweets. He denied having any knowledge of them, John, but you could tell that he was particularly unimpressed that at this time, when all of his energies were going towards keeping London safe, when it came to keeping London safe, that he was being distracted. Let's take a listen to what Theresa May had to say.
I never think it's helpful for anybody to speculate on what is an ongoing investigation. As I've just said, the police and security services are working to discover the full circumstances of this cowardly attack and to identify all those responsible.
It's a difficult balance at the best of times, as you well know, John and Poppy, to try and keep both the public safe but keep hold of information that could be useful for those you're seeking. And the people that we're talking to here in the British government, they don't feel that the president has been particularly helpful with them kind of maintaining that balancing act. Back to you.
Yeah, not helpful, particularly low bar when dealing with a terror investigation. Nema Al-Bagher, thank you so much. We're going to come back to this story in just a moment, but a lot going on. The same United Nations Security